Hi, this is Jordan Wagner of PremierGuitar.com, and I'm here today with the new 65 amps Empire. Now the Empire is geared more towards classic Marshall type tones, very, very British oriented. So two 6v6s in the power section, which have a kind of are affected from the circuit. This is something that Peter Stroud and Dan Bull have both been working on for about 20 years now to try to figure out a way to get 6v6s to sound and react quite like EL34s, and after this time of modding American amps to sound more like British ones, they've claimed they've finally done it, and I must say I think they've done a pretty spectacular job. So two 6v6s in the power section and 5 12AX7s in the preamp. The Empire is essentially a two-channel amp, but with 3 different gain voicings. So starting, you've got a master volume, presence control, bass, mid-range, treble, and then these 3 volume controls, which is where the majority of the tone shaping comes from. So the first one, which is activated from a included 2-button foot switch, that foot switch flips between either just the volume 1 by itself or volume 2. The second foot switch engages volume 3 on top of volume 2, which adds even more saturation to that tone. So, starting with volume 1, that part of the circuit's voiced more for a like a Pete Townsend type tone, mid-60s, you know, really, really cleanish, but very, very almost abrasive sounding, you know, that really, really great mid-60s classic rock tone. And then volume 2's geared more towards late 60s, early 70s Marshall Super Lead, overdriven plexi tones. And then volume 3 is more for your hot rodded 80s hard rock tone. And you can really, really hear it when you have the second switch activated. Volume 2, its tonality is more smooth sounding. It's got more of kind of like an even order harmonic type feel to it and tone to it. Volume 3 kind of adds a lot more hair to the tone, a lot more edge, so to speak. Both together, you can get a pretty cool balance out of it. There's also a bump switch right here, which alters the mid-range frequencies quite a bit. Not to the point where they're cut out so it sounds really too scooped, but it's really great for, you know, parts where or tones that you want to kind of like sit back a little bit more. With the bump engaged, you're out in the mix a little bit more. You can also select the switching options from the front. So all the way to the right is just volume 1, in the middle is volume 2, and then all the way to the right is volume 2 and volume 3. The cabinet is a 2x12 with their recommended combination of a Celestion Alnico Blue and a Celestion G12H30. So that's pretty much the feature layout of the Empire. There's no reverb. No extra bells and whistles as far as variable boosts, although you could set the individual volumes to be more boosted than others, but they're still governed by the overall master volume of the amp. There is a serial effects loop on the back of the amp if you would prefer to use that. So I'm going to demonstrate some tones with the amp right now. I have a Gibson Les Paul Traditional and a Fender Classic Player Stratocaster with David Allen, Johnny Hyland's signature Johnny Blade pickups. So there you have it. That is 65 amps' new Empire amplifier. The street price on the head is $2,900 and the 2x12 cabinet is $979. And you can read my full review in much greater detail as a January web exclusive on www.premierguitar.com. And again, this is Jordan Wagner, and thanks for watching.